maglilik, as in kahit ano gawin mo. Kailang surf na ako, di pa rin ako natatagusan. Today, I wanted to talk about period cup, specifically the one that I'm using right now, the On Flow. It's been 6 months since I first started using this, and it's been doing wonders, as in talaga. Press ko kang gumalaw and all. So not only does it help me work out ng maayos, ng hindi nag-aalala, it also helps me surf. Ito-demo ko guys kung paano siya i-put inside the. And then what y'all gotta do is, your thumb, and then push here. This is what y'all gotta put inside. And then, pagpasok nyo ng ganyan, slowly, pag nakapasok na siya ng ganyan, pusa na siya magpa-pop ng ganyan. Nasa loob siya, pero alam mo yun, hindi mo na siya feel na nandun, hindi talaga maglilik, as in kahit ano gawin mo. Kahit nasa dagat ka, since proven and tested talagang super safe siyang gamitin. For that reason, I think super effective talaga siya. And I strongly encourage everyone to use it. Make the switch na guys.
하늘을 가로질러 나는 갈매기 Yeah, boogie on and on 미래량한 내일이 That's right 꿈을 내게로 원하는 게 있다면 뭐든 들어봐 세계를 향해 속도는 그대로 미래 있어 next level
Good afternoon, everyone! The Philippine-Korean Youth Forum 2023 will officially start in a few minutes. While waiting, let's hear a few words from our dear sponsors and partners.
평선 넘어 대화 저 멀리 들려오는 백고동해와 하늘을 가로질러 나는 갈매기 Yeah, boogie on and on 미래량한 내일이 That's right 꿈을 내게로 원하는 게 있다면 뭐든 들어봐 세계를 향해 속도는 그대로 next level.
talaga magli-leak, as in kahit ano gawin mo. Ilang surf na ako, di pa rin ako natatagusan. Today, I wanted to talk about period cup, specifically the one that I'm using right now, the On Flow. It's been 6 months since I first started using this, and it's been doing wonders, as in talaga. Presko kang gumalaw and all. So not only does it help me work out ng maayos, ng hindi nag-aalala, it also helps me surf. Ito-demo ko guys kung paano siya i-put inside you. And then what y'all gotta do is, your thumb, and then push here. This is what y'all gonna put inside. And then, pagpasok nyo ng ganyan, slowly. Pag nakapasok na siya ng ganyan, pusa na siya magpa-pop ng ganyan. Nasa loob siya, pero alam mo yun, hindi mo na siya feel na nandun, hindi talaga magli-leak, as in kahit ano gawin mo. Kahit nasa dagat ka, it's proven and tested talagang super safe siyang gamitin. For that reason, I think super effective talaga siya. And I strongly encourage everyone to use it. Make the switch na guys.
Hello everyone! Welcome to the Philippine-Korean Youth Forum 2023. 여러분, 환영합니다. This year's theme is Crossover, Reimagining and Embracing the Future.
안녕하세요. 환영합니다. I'm Yoi Tamayo.
And I'm Abby Salas and we'll be your hosts for today.
Finally, partner, we're in our second week of PKYF 2023. So how was the first week of PKYF 2023 for you, partner?
Well, I hosted last week and I must say it was a blast since everyone was really participative and it's like everyone was enthusiastic to be there.
Yes, I also hosted last week and I really saw the activeness and participation of our delegates back in the culture and tourism track. And we're also looking forward that we're going to have the same participative energy and active energy today. Am I right, partner?
Hopefully.
Okay. So, grabe, no? PKYF really stays true to the aim of connecting and encouraging collaboration between the youth through various educational and cultural activities that you delegates will be experiencing in the next couple of weeks.
I agree. Actually, our first week went by so smoothly, and I'm pretty sure with how excited everybody is, this week's keynote and forum will be as great or even better for everybody.
Yes, I agree. You know what, Abby? I think we should check if our economy and trade track delegates and other viewers are alive this afternoon. Should we check?
Let's check. So, are the delegates from this track already here in our session? Comment or give a reaction to let us know of your presence. For everyone's information, this session is also currently live on Facebook and on YouTube. So, economy and trade delegates, how are you guys? What are you looking forward to for today's session since we are finally kicking off with the economy and trade track? You may tweet or comment while using the hashtag PKYF crossover.
Ayan. Should we check our comment section, Abby?
Where are our delegates?
I'm seeing a lot of fighting.
Oh,
Fighting, Abby. Fighting. So excited for this session, according to Mixlani Nemenzo.
So are we.
True. I'm also seeing good afternoon, Marky from Kjang here. Wow. Hello, Marky Remorca.
Hello. Good afternoon to everybody.
Yes. I think Kjang is their group name.
Oh, hello,
Kjang.
Kjang. Hiting, honor writing.
Yes. Comment down your group names so we can shout out you. Whiting. Good afternoon. Ayan. So, I think we can all feel the excitement, but let's check which economy and trade track group is active and proud. So, flex your group name by typing your group name in the comment section. And who knows, there might be a prize for this. Right. No, Abby?
So far, we have Kjang. Anyone else? Oh, there's E.T. Gang. And there's also
E.T. Gang. Wow.
There's also Kultura or Kasama. Hello.
Curious with what is going to be discussed about economy and trade. Yeah, according to Mixlani Nemenzo, we're also curious and also excited.
Let's go, E.T. It seems like E.T. Gang is very active today, partner. Oh, there's also Group 1.
Karen from Group 1 here.
Across the sea.
Happy to be here from Team. Ang dami ko, I can see a lot of people from Team Itigang. Is that how you pronounce your name? Itigang or Gong?
Ah, emerging
Emerging
aces.
Ace. Wow,
Oh, so
I
that's what it
see.
means. Okay. Okay, so thank you very much, delegates. We really felt the energy. So just feel free to comment your insights and questions in the comment section anytime during the lectures, and we will be answering those during the open forum later on.
So thank you very much. Also, for everyone who is streaming this and would like to share it on your social media accounts, please use the hashtags #PKYF crossover and #UP Arirang. Also, don't forget to tag UP Arirang and PKYF on your post.
That is noted, partner. But before we officially proceed to our main agenda, we would like to give thanks to our sponsors and partners that made this event possible. Philippine-Korean Youth Forum 2023 is presented to you by none other than UP Arirang. Organized together with UP Korea Research Center, Office of International Linkages OVCAA, Manila Koreatown, Busan University of Foreign Studies, Association of Filipino Educators in Korea, Pinoy Scholars sa Korea, and GKS Philippines Alumni Association.
PKYF is also made possible by Korean Cultural Center in the Philippines, In Korean Podcast, Hallyu Wednesdays, Flowerstore.ph, Dasam Beauty Korea, On Flow, Happy Hour, and Pulp Live World Productions. It is also in partnership with Hal UP, UP Tomokai, Urban Chicks Resto Maginhawa, Monster RX 93.1, Now You Know PH, and P-Popcom.
PKYF 2023 is also in cooperation with the Philippine Embassy in Seoul, ISEC in UPD, P-Pop Perimeter, ECOT PH, and Manila Shopper. This is also brought to you by A-Pop Books, AJA International Academy, Anyong PNU, UP Debac, UP Samahang Linguistica, and One Soul PH. We have so much sponsors this year, partner.
I know, right, partner? We have so many sponsors, partners, and co-organizers for this year's PKYF. Nakaka-proud as members of Arirang.
Exactly. Makes me
And now, I'm pretty sure that all of us are eager to start this keynote lecture. Am I right?
yes.
So, without further ado, let us start with our first speaker. The first speaker is the Antenor S. Verata Professor of Business Administration at the University of the Philippines Cesar E. A. Verata School of Business. He is also a principal investigator at the University of the Philippines Korea Research Center. He obtained his PhD in International Management from National Cheng Kung University, Taiwan ROC.
His academic and professional experience spanning 15 years in counting covers topics in operations management, management of innovation, management of international technology, and the Korean wave, with international and national research publications such as in Computers in Human Behavior, International Journal of Market Research, Asian Journal of Social Science, Critica Cultura, and more, and with guest speaker and interview engagements in both the private and public sectors. Lastly, he serves as a forum moderator for Socified, one of the biggest and longest running international fan forum sites for the K-pop girl group Girls' Generation, and an admin for the country chapter Socified Philippines.
Let us all welcome Sir Eric Paulo S. Capistrano for his talk about Filipinos' fascination with Korean cosmetics and skincare. Let us all give him a virtual round of applause.
All right. So yeah, good afternoon to everyone. Okay. So I hope you guys had I hope you guys had a good lunch before this thing, before you participate in this. Kasi, well, first of all, it's 1:10 p.m. almost 1:10 p.m. in the afternoon. I hope I can keep you guys awake for the next 45 minutes as we go along with today's topic on South Korean skincare. Exactly, like where are we right now? So that's the first topic that we're gonna have for this session on economy and trade. Now I'm not gonna show much of the numbers here. It's gonna be more on insights and thoughts, and also later on we'll have I'll be asking you guys some questions just to elicit some of your own thoughts on the present status or the present perspectives of South Korean skincare here in the Philippines. So to start us off, hopefully this okay. So we definitely will have an introduction here and telling a bit of history on what we know and what we have so far. So the our MCs have mentioned that I've been part of the UPKRC, and that being said, one of my first research projects with them is on this. And back in 2018, we've established some of the emerging trends in the Korean skincare market, specifically here in the Philippines. So some stats first, now before we proceed. So for the overall market, for 2022, the total revenues that we had was around 7.3 trillion Korean won, with a compounded annual growth rate of 4%. So this is like really emerging from the pandemic era, but it's still, overall it's still below the 2019 levels, no, pre-pandemic. It's on its way to recovery, and hopefully, hopefully as we pick up more, as travel is back, retail sales is back, so we're gonna see more of this. Now, in 2022, the best performing category was hand care. So hand creams, moisturizers, and such, and that's amounting to 143 billion Korean won. Now, as for market shares, LG Household and Healthcare is the market leader with 22%. Yes, LG, the same company that produces air conditioners, okay, and household appliances. Yeah, they have a division on LG Household and Healthcare in which it's a major contributor to the overall Korean skincare market. Okay. Amore Pacific is second with 19.3%. And rounding up the top five would be more of the foreign brands that have presences in Korea. So that's L'Oreal, Estee Lauder, and Chanel. And that rounding up the top five. But what one thing I would like to highlight here right away is how different the market shares are. Like like the Korean homegrown brands under LG and Amore Pacific, they're the ones who dominate the market. And then you see the foreign brands that are based in Korea or have presences in Korea, like L'Oreal, Estee Lauder, and Chanel. Their market shares are significantly lower. So it's still the entire skincare market is still pretty much dominated by the homegrown Korean brands. Now, for the short version, okay, so many of course the main driver a main driver in the spread of the Korean skincare market is obviously due to our, okay, celebrity endorsements. Okay. All right, I'm a bit of old school, like saying, our MCs mentioned that I'm a fan of Girls' Generation, and I've been in the fandom for 13 years na and counting. So some of these are like old school ones. But so as you notice, like celebrities like Kim So Hyun, uh, uh, Yuna, okay, Yuna, Onyu, and Song Hye Kyo, for instance, like these are like the like big celebrities who have endorsed brands and have carried a lot of the spread and the promotions of the skincare market across, internationally, like outside Korea. Case in point, okay, case in point. Yes, okay, yes, SNSD, go tayo dyan. Okay, so case in point, Song Hye Kyo, back in 2014, 2015, ito yung height ng Descendants of the Sun. Okay? Laneige had like a lot of product placements in the drama, and the drama was credited, okay, to a significant increase in sales in China for Laneige brands. And Laneige is under Amore Pacific. So it was a really like a huge driver, huge driver when it comes to, okay, when it comes to these celebrities. Okay. Other is of course the marketing. Okay, the marketing version of it, like Myeongdong. For those of you who have been to Korea pre-pandemic, Myeongdong is a haven for such. Like almost every single street that you come across there in Myeongdong, for example, okay, are like populated so much by these different stores. And you can see all of these different big brands, big and small brands that you can see and that offer you a wide variety of products to choose from. Okay? And of course, the marketing, okay, the promotions with the billboards, the promos that they have, the packages that they have are all part and parcel as well with what attributing to the growth of the Korean skincare market. And of course, you have the stores themselves. Okay. One thing that's unique or like relatively unique about Korean care stores, Korean skincare stores, is that it's not just like you just go in, okay, browse around, and then select the stuff that you want to buy. Yeah. They also offer they also have this thing like their staff are properly trained to to inform you of the benefits of each product. And even the stores themselves, they have, like, some of the stores now, they also have uh, tablets and applications in which you can actually input some of your like basic skin information, and then it would generate a customized suggestion of recommendations of what products do you actually need. So it's not, and not to mention that they really also touched on the Hallyu, okay, phenomenon, the Korean wave phenomenon, wherein when you go into the store, okay, you're gonna see posters, you're gonna hear music, okay, music from your favorite K-pop artists. And that the end of, obviously, for a lot of fans of the Hallyu, then it's a way to attract them into the stores. So the stores themselves, and also, last thing about the stores is that if you notice, a lot of them are standalone stores. Okay, meaning that they do spend for, okay, to have their own stores, to have their own presences, instead of like just being in a section in a department store or a couple of aisles in a supermarket. Okay, so this was before. Now, typically, what happens, or what the hope was when it comes to this is, okay, we start with the proliferation of K-pop, okay, of K-pop and K-drama. Okay, we start with the proliferation on that, and that would lead towards a rising awareness of K-beauty products. For those of you who are aware, or at least know, know how like about K beauty products, like where did you see them? Yeah, chime in the chat box. Okay, so chime in the comment section. Okay, just to have a, like, just so that I can see like where do you get there, like how did you become aware of them? So typically there are two ways that this happens. Either one, through, okay, endorsements, like you notice that you follow certain celebrities, and then you have the okay you see their endorsements. In my case, again, I'm a Girls' Generation fan. I knew about Innisfree because Yuna was an endorser. I knew about Nature Republic and Vanilla Co because Taeyeon was an endorser. Okay? I knew about and Hypen as BYS endorsers. Oh, exactly. Okay, XO was in Nature Republic as well. Okay. Yeah. So yun. So, ads ng mga bias, exactly. 'Di ba? Kung sino yung bias mo, pag meron kang okay, pag meron meron silang ini-endorse, then you see them. 'Di ba? Okay, so yeah, EXO for Nature Republic. Okay? Shiny and Etude House. Okay, Red Velvet was also an endorser with Etude House. As same as FX na rin, di ba? And then, of course, but social media with the physical store, like obviously they will hype this up more in their social media channels. Okay? Because of the freebies. Ay, totoo din yan. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, like some of them would provide photo cards. I remember the thing with XO before, like when you buy an entire set of soaps, of Nature Republic soap, yung packaging nila would have that. Okay, now we have local brands as well, like Pen Shop and with NCT Dream and Chanyol. So so yeah, so a lot of us would have that. Another route that people would see will be on product placements within K dramas. I mentioned a while ago Descendants of the Sun. Okay, so you can see something, you also see something like that, with product placements. I am watching right now King the Land. Okay, so kung meron din Budol Match, totoo. Okay, yeah, Budol Match talaga yan. The same with 17. Oh, like I think the one with the same as with 17 has been there for a long time. Yeah, it's been there for a long time. Okay, now with dramas, okay, right now with King Dalan, okay, I kind of noticed that there's a product placement with Estee Lauder, and Luna is currently an endorser of Estee Lauder. So we can see some of that as well with dramas with brand Hermes. Yes, I know. Okay. Okay, napanood mo na ba yung kissing scene? Yan, so, okay, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, those are the two major routes that would contribute to the rising awareness. Okay, rising awareness of that. Oh yeah, okay, Scarlet Heart. Okay, Scarlet Heart. Yeah, yeah, IU. Okay, with IU, right? Okay, so yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah, keep them coming, keep them coming. So because it will trigger some core memories that would help us understand this entire phenomenon that's happening in the Philippines better. So yeah, so those are the two big tracks that we see there. Okay, so yeah, I basically asked the question like, how about you? Like, how did you get into K beauty aside from this? Okay, so question like this. Another thing that I want you guys to chime in as well, right? Is it like did any of you, like, because of this like proliferation of K-pop and K-drama actually made you buy such products? Or made you turn into Korean skincare products for your skincare and beauty needs and cosmetic needs. Yeah, because that's the other side of it. Like with this rising awareness of K beauty products, with K beauty products, now we have the rising consumption of those K beauty products. This is where the budol comes in. Okay, yeah, yeah, di ba? This is where the budol comes in. Like to the point pa nga, yeah, with the skincare, right? To the point pa nga that I was like for a time while Yuna was still the endorser of Innisfree, I was really buying exclusively from Innisfree. Same with Taeyeon. When Taeyeon was an endorser of Nature Republic, exclusively for Nature Republic ang binibili ko. I did have a problem though when she switched to Vanilla Co, because like apparently there were very few Vanilla Co products that are catered to males. And then ngayon problema pa, like say with Yuna, okay, yung Yuna leveling up to Estee Lauder, okay? Okay. We thought na ma-achieve ang glass skin like them. Scam. Okay, scam siya. Okay. We'll get into that later, right? Like yung mga thoughts na yan, because I do have some points I would like to you guys to weigh in on, and later on when we get that. So two questions that we're gonna try to answer with the rest of the time that we have for this afternoon. And it's like, what drives this consumption, and for that matter, what sustains this consumption? So we go to the first question, no? Okay, so okay, we know about it, but do we actually go and buy the stuff? Diba? When kaya maging kakutis ng mga K-pop bias. Alright. Hold that thought. We'll get back to that later, alright? Yes, so there are different ways to go about this. Now, first of all, according to research, like what makes us buy them. So I saw in the comment section earlier that social media was a big driver for us to actually get into this. So yeah, and that's especially also true in the Philippines as a very significant social media hub, okay, wherein we are very the social media penetration is really high for us. Okay, for us, social media marketing has been one of the biggest contributors for us to actually be encouraged to use them, not just be aware, but more like using them as well. And then some of those things, like an aspiration to actually look like our biases and our idols, has been a driver as well, okay, for this one. Or maybe because also like our perceptions of what South Korea is, right? That would also drive such perceptions and some positive perceptions and attitudes and behavior towards towards buying skincare products. One interesting tidbit, though, that some of this research have also picked up was that a recognition, a recognition on the like we are contributing to our idols, to our biases, pangkabuhayan, livelihood, delulutubit and opa. Okay, okay, more effect. Yeah, so yeah, yeah, of course, diba? Like because our also perceptions on like how much more effective they are compared to what we have at the moment. Okay? But one interesting tidbit na rin that I've kind of like noticed among fans is that the recognition that okay, the recognition that in some way we are contributing to the livelihood of our favorite celebrities, especially for K-pop artists. Right? You're not gonna get rich purely on music alone, right? You're not gonna get rich on music alone. So that's why many of the K-pop celebrities go into solo activities such as acting, MCing, and all of these endorsements. And all these endorsements. So some there's this small group of sentiments that it's also a way to show support for the artist. Exactly. Okay. Okay. It's by patronizing the products that they endorse. It's skincare, in this case, skincare in particular. Okay, we are contributing. Okay, we are kind of contributing to that in a way as a way to support the artists. So that's an interesting sentiment that also comes up with the academic research that's been there. Okay. So yeah, so okay, so as you go along, okay, so think about it. What's your story? What's your motivation for you to patronize these Korean skincare products? Now, for industry reports, okay, a couple of things that also drive consumption now is the shift there. Like there's a shift now from the premium skincare to consumer health products. Okay. So, and there are what does this mean? That there are then declines in specialized premium products and growths in mass products and multifunctional products. That's actually a very interesting insight. Consuming the products tells the companies that we want our favorite artists to continue being their models. See, that's actually a very interesting insight, yeah, that we have there, and it is a valid insight that, yeah, you show that this celebrity is effective, and therefore we encourage them to continue to be the model or to be the brand ambassador to that. Yeah, yeah. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay, so magandang insight yon. Okay. So there are decline. So going back now, so parang the changes in the market is that you can see that yung mga, let's say, mga specialized like a product specifically for, let's say, what uh exfoliation, but there's a decline in the patronization of that, and and a growing preference for multifunctional products. Okay, so yung mga 2-in-1 or 3-in-1 functions that can do the job. Yeah? Let's say instead of buying 3 separate products, you just buy one that would do the same thing, for all three. So that's one of the biggest changes that we see in the market. Okay. In allusion to what I've said earlier, some prospects of opportunities there would also include better personalization based on scientific analysis of a customer's unique needs. Na rin. And there is a rebranding towards the younger generations, and information technology would have something to do with all of this, no? So parang yun yung like I said a while ago regarding like like some of the stores would have tablets and cameras that would analyze your skin tone, your skin color. Okay, would examine the amount of pores that you have and whatnot, and then it would come up with a recommended, not only with a recommended set of products for you to choose, for you to buy, but also a recommended routine or regimen. Hmm. Minsan may thought na pag Korean products is premium or effective because of the models na gumagamit. Exactly. Like there is a perception of that because many of these celebrities as well do exude a certain lifestyle that is of, let's say, an upper class. Uh, yeah. I mean, unique in, yeah, exactly. But yeah, diba? Snail oil, fermented rice water, volcanic something something, diba? Like the science behind it, the supply chain behind it is mind blowing. Mind blowing. We'll get into that later. Okay, we'll get into that later. Maraming mga comments ngayon dito that I would go back to later, and I'm very thankful for that. Keep them coming. Okay, keep them coming. Right. And because this is where it's gonna happen now. No? So, and according to consumer feedback, I found this from a blog named Kinseng. Okay, so yeah, because this is like a very interesting classification of the Korean skincare products. So according to Kinseng, there are like 6 categories of Korean beauty products, and the first two that you're seeing right now is the prestige and the clinical. And under each category that you're seeing here are the brands that you see. So when you're talking about premium products, that these are typically the Amore Pacific products, and that would include Laneige, Iop, Hera. Okay, so talagang they really exude a certain level of premium, yeah, a certain level of lifestyle. And obviously the likes of Joo Jin Hyun and Song Hye Kyo do exude that certain level of lifestyle associated with these brands. The clinical ones, as you can see here, okay, on the next part, okay, these are brands that are the thrust is more on like, well, the clinical or the scientific treatment and benefits that you can get from, okay, from these products. So medyo mas methodical, it's a little bit more methodical, it's a little bit more scientific in their approach towards how they package, they promote, they position and package their products. And I will not be surprised if very few of us would be aware of these brands, because these particular brands under the clinical category are not really that mainstream, in the sense that you don't, like outside of South Korea, you will easily know them. The next two are the hanbang and the mass market. The hanbang are like, these are the products that highlight or push the fact that they're using natural or even herbal, okay, herbal ingredients. So that's why, like say, and one of the most popular there in terms of pushing that the herbal uh, set of ingredients that they're using is sulwasu. Yeah. Okay, so Sulwaso is one of the biggest brands that kind of like promote that, okay? Promote the part. And of course, the mass market is the one that we are probably most familiar with when it comes to the number of brands that we have there. Yeah, and obviously the mass market category has the biggest, it has the biggest number of brands under it. Yes, famous and award-winning artists, exactly. Exactly, ang nagiging endorsers nila diyan. So yeah, so the likes of Tony Moly, IPKN, Aritam, Apu, the Sem. These are like some of the brands that are more like classified as mass market. Now the last two categories here, okay, are the not yeah, they're this is like more specialized in the sense like, okay, now separate from the herbal, okay, the use of the herbal raw ingredients, raw materials. You have the natural, okay, the all natural Korean beauty brands. So ito na nga, yung like this is where like a lot of the unique ingredients also would come in. So the likes of CosRx, Beyond, what else here that I'm a little bit familiar? The Face Shop, okay, the Face Shop, Skin House. Okay, so these are like some of the brands now that are more on, okay, that are more on like really pushing that they are using natural ingredients, like more natural ingredients for this. Nature Republic is also very aggressive in promoting that. The fact nga na nature diba? So yun yung peg din nila. And you can also see that in their stores as well, in the way that their stores are designed. Yeah, stores are designed would be something like that as well. Yeah, Kiehl's is another one. Okay, Kiehl's is another one. So this is not more. This is not just regarding the price, huh? That this is like also like how they push it. Now, the last category is okay, is more on their positioning themselves as being trendy. So the Vanilla Co is definitely part of it. Clio is another popular brand that's there. Okay, that's there. In terms of uh, showcasing what's new and trendy. Okay, new and trendy. So those are they're the ones who are very aggressive of that. One thing that you would notice though that with these six categories and the brands that are underneath them or are included in each of these categories is that it doesn't matter if you're big or small. Okay, it doesn't matter whether you're a big company or a small company or a big brand or a small brand or a popular one or not so popular one. It's the way that they are positioned. It's the way it's where also that they are sold. Okay, they are sold as well. It's also the way that their stores look like, and for that matter, it's probably also like who are the celebrities that they get. Okay, to as brand ambassadors. So that's one thing that we want to also point out there. Now, let's go into the next question. So, what sustains this consumption? So, do we, okay, now that we're in it, and for some in really deep, do we stay for it? Like, will it become part of our daily lives or our daily routines? Okay, so, and what will encourage something like that? Okay. Of course, we want to also recognize that there are challenges in actually staying. Okay. And the very first one was that for it is like there's simply too many choices, and this has been one of the biggest criticisms of the Korean skincare market. Pasok ka lang sa isang tindahan, okay, you enter one store, your brain can explode. Okay, like okay, show of hands here, like who has been overwhelmed, okay, who has suffered from information overload or sensory overload, okay, whenever they enter a standalone Korean skincare store. Okay, okay, sa dami na lang ng choices, okay, dami ng choices, sa dami ng categories, and you really don't know where to start. That's one. Second is it's too pricey. Okay, like seriously, how much do you need to spend? We mentioned that we're being budoled here. Okay, uh, diba? We're being budoled here. Diba? So it's too price again, and then for that matter, diba, parang it's kind of like what at least double. Okay, double the brand, like double the price. Okay, indecisive side, exactly, like same here, even in the choice of the face, even the facial mask, come on, diba? Like there's so many, like facial mask is a facial mask is a facial mask, and then all of a sudden you're gonna be bombarded by so many like fruit flavors or berry flavors or herbal flavors of it. Okay. So, yun. So, doon pa lang eh. And yeah, we're going to the 10-step routine. Too many steps to use them. So okay, but ask yourself, really, 10 steps really necessary? Kinakailangan ba, like, para ba, like, for us to reach that glass skin or like that skin levels that we see in the idols, do we really want to go the 10 steps? Like, seriously, who even has time to do 10 steps? Like the entire 10 steps. Okay. Although I do admit there was a time that when I was reviewing for a final exam, back when I was doing my PhD, naka-facial mask ako. Okay, habang nag-aaral, okay, or habang nagbabasa, naka-facial mask. Okay, also honestly, who here has time to do 10 steps? Or for that matter, in a humid environment like the Philippines, is 10 steps necessary? Or is 10 steps effective? Now, of course, diba, we also the challenges regarding the perceived and real issues with the companies manufacturing and distributing them. Okay. Exactly. Diba? The challenge is to find that brand that would cater to that particular Filipino skincare type. Diba? So yon. And that's a big challenge. Okay. And then another challenge is that, like here, like I said, about the perceived and real issues with the companies manufacturing and distributing them. Because, for example, there was a bit of controversy with Nature Republic before, but this was not anything to do with the product itself, but it's more like some of the people in top management were accused of embezzlement. And how will that affect the people's perception, okay, of the company? And then, of course, perceived and real issues with the country of origin. Because let's face it, no, when we buy these products, indirectly we are contributing to the South Korean economy. And whatever real perceived and real issues that we have with South Korea as a country, and as a country, can also potentially affect us staying. Yeah. So because, like, obviously, South Korea is not a perfect country. And they have their own issue. They have their own social issues. They have their own ethic, diba? They have their own social norms that they may not agree with Filipino norms. But still, diba? So yun. So cruelty-free makeup and skincare brand affects my choice if I stay with the brand. Exactly. That's a very valid point there. But yeah, so these issues surrounding the companies and the country of origin is also something that we'd like to think about. Okay. Pagka-homogeneous ng Korean society, limiting their thinking to produce more inclusive shades to cater to more customers. Yeah, that's true. That's so very true. Thank you for pointing that out as well. So yeah, diba? So it's not just about the consumption side, but it's also like how, like, we could think what are those issues that surround those the way that we consume and we stay, okay, with these Korean brands. And yet, here we are. And yet here we are, like, despite these issues, we are still aware of them. We are still following them. Okay? We are still keeping up to date, diba? We are still keeping up to date. There's with who is endorsing what. Okay? And for that matter, that pool of knowledge is expanding. Okay? Okay, that pool of knowledge is expanding. That pool of knowledge is and that knowledge still translates for us, to us buying. Okay, and for that matter, if you notice here in the Philippines, it's not just only like the younger generations. Okay, that the younger generations that are buying Korean skincare products. The proliferation of K dramas during the pandemic. Okay, during the pandemic, specifically by the older generations, like our aunties, our titas, okay, our titas, who obviously can afford to buy Korean skincare products. Okay, they're getting into it as well. Okay, they're getting into it as well. So one big driver was the pandemic, and with the pandemic, rise in the K drama consumption, and with K drama consumption, you have more Filipinos, more of these Philippine buying products here. Yeah, okay, meron pong idea na investment daw po kin kay beauty products kasi quality. Yeah, that's also true. That's also true. Kasi nga they're very expensive eh. But then you think about it, 'di ba? Like a tube, like a tube of moisturizer, or a tube of facial foam. It will last you months. Because, like, you only need a small portion of it. Yeah, you only and then it kind of like lathers up your face so much. So is that rationalization in your brain now, that you are actually spending, but like the money that you spend divided by the number of days that you're using it, consuming it. And that's the way our brain rationalizes that it's because of the quality and the potency of such products. That's why the value for money angle, exactly. Yeah. That we rationalize our brain rationalizes that this is really value for money. So off with all of that, no, with all of these considerations, with all of these issues, so what is that one powerful thing that makes you stay? Right? So what is that one powerful thing that makes you stay? For those of you who are continuously patronizing these products, now that I've kind of like opened a little can of worms here that opens up to the challenges of it, like what's the one thing that makes you that makes you still stay? Is it still the sentiment towards your idols, towards the celebrities that you stand, and the products that they endorse that make you stay? Okay, vis-a-vis, let's say, your perceptions of quality, okay, your perceptions of quality of the product, the potency of the product, vis-a-vis the fact that you know that these are cruelty-free products, or products that use natural ingredients instead of artificial ones. So different drivers yan. Okay, different drivers yan. Diba? And then at the end of it, yes, knowing that these celebrities, these products come from a country that has its own issues in their society, in their culture, in their values and norms, and norms. So so these are like the interacting, even competing factors that influence us staying, not just buying, but also staying, okay, and keep on using these Korean beauty products. Okay. So wrapping this up now, okay, then what? Okay, okay. So now that we steered the pot some, what's next? Okay, what's next for us? So okay, okay, so effective, no? It's like, yeah, that's actually a good point there, because like sometimes when you experiment and you take some risks, and when you take some risks with the products that you have, and then you eventually find that one brand, or that one product category also that's effective to your, not just effective, but also hiyang, or yeah, sensitive to your skin. Yeah, kasi like some of the products, some of the brands and products may be too potent that it actually irritates your skin. So yeah, it is an experiment. Although it can be a very expensive experiment. Okay, so yun. Okay, so what can we talk about in the future now that we've laid the foundations here. So in that rising consumption of K beauty products, in that rising consumption of the K beauty products, okay, will that lead to increased awareness in other consumer products, for instance? Because K beauty products was the most logical choice in the promotion of Korean consumer products back in the initial internationalization of Hallyu, simply because the Hallyu celebrities were endorsing such. They were endorsing such. But now that we know about now that we are exposed to this one big category of Korean consumer products, what did that lead to as far as that increased awareness of other Korean consumer products are concerned? Obviously, the next one was food. Okay? The next one was food. Case in point, I have my own stack of ramyeon here. Okay? Like I have my own stack of ramyeon here. I have my own stash of kimchi here. Kimchi here. Okay. Sometimes I bought I bought like Korean sauces, okay, as well. The gochu, starting with gochujang, for example. Okay? That's another category of consumer products. Okay, consumer product. Oh, by the way, I still have a bottle of soju here. So parang from K beauty products, it opened up, okay, it opened up other channels in which other Korean consumer products made its way to the Philippine economy. Samjang supremacy. Exactly. So okay, so yon. And another particular thing, okay, and it's an interesting. It's not a consumer product, it's more of a high valued product as well. Vehicles, motor vehicles. All right, motor vehicles. Okay, many people are attributing the Korean wave as well in the rise, not only in the awareness, but also in the market share in the likes of Hyundai and Kia. Okay? You want another Korean consumer product? Electronics, obviously. Samsung. Okay, Samsung devices, LG devices. Okay, LG device or like because of this initial foray of K beauty products, it kind of opened up a lot of other things. Now, second point, increased appreciation of Korean culture, norms, and values. And so this is also an attempt for us. Okay, we are consuming what they manufacture and distribute. Okay, will that open a channel for us to be interested and to know more about Korean culture? Okay? On the way they live their lives, on the way on their everyday lives, like for example, like how much time do they actually spend in that 10-step routine? Can be more like it can be like it can go for an hour and a half before bedtime. Diba? And then yeah, Korean drinking etiquette. Okay, for example, it can go that far. In other words, this knowledge that we have, or this awareness that we have with K beauty products, became a catalyst, and I hope it can also be a continuing catalyst for us to know more about Korean culture, norms, and values. And with that being said, the third point, increased scrutiny in Korean social issues. Okay? Like, for example, like two things I want to highlight when it comes to this scrutiny of Korean social issues. Why is the sitting president receiving so much feedback, right? Like before and after elections. Or for example, let's circle back to K drama. Why was Snowdrop, for example, why was Snowdrop, for example, received so much scrutiny or received so much feedback? Diba? And then probably it can also be a way for us to also scrutinize, okay, what the international fans are saying vis-a-vis what are the Korean fans are saying pertaining to a certain controversy or pertaining to a certain issue. Okay, so with this awareness of K beauty products, I hope it can also open up other channels for us to talk about this. Mm. And then exactly, that's actually a very good point that I'm seeing here right now. Because I just recently saw like this piece criticizing naman, like, okay, using these K beauty products kind of like connotes a certain standard in beauty. Okay, so now that certain standard of beauty in terms of the face, the body shape, the weight is now being scrutinized. It's now being criticized. Like you're boxing women in, specifically for women. Okay, that's a very good point that it's raised here right now. Diba? So, and it kind of like affects now their standing in society. So parang, or for that matter, like let's take an older one, diba? Like let's take an older issue. What do you call this? Surgery. Okay, plastic surgery. Okay, like plastic surgery, right? Like for some people, okay, for some international fans, it comes to us as a shock to them, like a trip to a surgeon, okay, a plastic surgeon, is actually being used as a high school graduation gift or a college graduation gift. But in Korea, it's a norm. Okay, it's a norm. So with this, diba? So with this, like, so many topics are opening up for us to further understand, diba? Understand and discuss. So those are the things that we see there. So from something that was aspirational, see, we started with just like, okay, why do you want to use Korean skincare products? Because I want to look like my idol, or I want to achieve a certain standard of my skin. But now it opened up a can of worms that we can discuss something more critical as well. Yeah, something more critical as well here. Okay, so that basically sums up sums up this part here, yeah. And I would like to end with this slide because I also like uh, to end this talk with also the thing that also it's not just about now Korean brands, but also like these international brands that also look at okay, look at Korean celebrities. Okay, so we have, if for example here, okay, bias. Okay, we have here Yuna now endorsing an international, like a foreign brand. In this case, Estilo there. Okay, but we all like also like Maybelline. I can't remember. Oh my God! Like Maybelline is Itzy, if I remember correctly, right? Like they got Etsy as their endorser, an endorser for their cosmetics as well. So we also see now a recognition from these international brands on how powerful Korean celebrities are in endorsement, and how powerful the Korean skincare market is in terms of their packaging and whatnot. So there are other like Western brands or foreign brands, non-Korean brands, that also like adopt certain aspects of the Korean beauty products to incorporate with their own brands. And as we see here, there's no end in sight. Yeah, there's no end in sight. And yeah, it can start with us in terms of how much we can do more. Okay, we can do more in scrutinizing what we see with these Korean skincare products. So yeah, so with that, thank you. And if there are any questions, thank you for the comments. Thank you for the comments. It's been very engaging. It's been very insightful for your part, from your side as well. And yeah, if there are any questions, inquiries, clarifications, let's open the floor for that discussion.
Thank you so much, Sir Eric, for this fruitful talk about Filipinos' fascination with Korean cosmetics and skincare. I personally liked how it was emphasized that there really is this clear pipeline from being a K-pop fan or a K-drama viewer to being a consumer of Korean products. How about you, Yoyi?
I actually can relate to a lot of points that Sir Dr. Eric mentioned earlier. One thing is that I'm also a fan of EXO and NCT. So because of them, I got to know Nature Republic. And also during the probably early times, like 2015 to 2017-ish, I would have to admit that I was also kind of a tricked, not really tricked, but I was also nahila sa Korean beauty products now. But growing up, I realized that I can't really sustain the price of these Korean products. So it was a phase. It was a phase, but I would have to admit that I was really passionate to relate to these Korean products before. Okay. So now I think it's time to open the floor for questions from our delegates and viewers. You may send your questions through the comments in our live chats. A gentle reminder that your questions will be flashed on the screen, so let's keep them short and direct as possible. Okay. So while we wait for the questions, sir, maybe start with the question from our MCs. I believe Abby has questions as well, no? So for me, sir, since all trends, we all know that trends do end. But
Mm.
then do you think that this trend of Korean beauty products will end soon?
No, no,
Hmm.
oh no. Why? Okay, why? Okay, okay. This one thing I kind of like now that I realize it. I didn't mention it in my presentation, simply because also the proliferation of e-commerce. Na rin, because if you also notice, okay, if you also notice, we're not just limited to the mainstream brands anymore when it comes to what's available. So there's a lot of like cheaper brands or a lot of other mass market Korean brands that are obviously cheaper, and that opens up, yeah, as long as it's like made in Korea. Okay, there will be a market that would patronize it. So that's one of my major reasons why I said there's no the end is not yet in sight. Yeah, that it'll still be there. And also that we also notice that more of the younger fans are becoming more aware on the other ways that we can support your artist or your celebrity, aside from listening to their music, contributing to the streams, or like watching their dramas and whatnot. So and many of these fans like stay for a long time, like until like when they graduate, and then they find work, and therefore they can afford now to buy the products that their celebrities are endorsing. So that's a cycle. Yeah, That's the trend that I'm also seeing here as well.
Sir, for my question, uh, I don't know if this is a universal experience, but I do believe a lot of the motivations why people buy these sort of products is even just a little bit. We want to look like them. We want to have the clear skin that they have. Do you think that this perpetuates or implies anything negative?
Well, there is, yeah, there is a perpetuation of negativity because, like, for example, like, I mean, let's face it, no, like Filipino skin is significant, like, well, for the most part, no, like Filipino skin is totally complete, like, significantly different from the Korean skin standards, or the way that we look, we perceive, and we perceive what's good, what's good, and the thing is also like it kind of like harkens back na ano ba ang itsurang Filipina, or ano ba yung ideal na Filipina, and what's the ideal Filipina, what's the ideal Filipino. And of course, we cannot avoid that discussion that because we're aspiring to look like an East Asian, we're aspiring to look like an East Asian, then does that mean that you do not see a typical Filipina as beautiful? Right? We won't get away from that. We won't get away with that. Okay? So, we cannot avoid that kind of discussion for it, and that's where that debate on the standards that Korea imposes on its the Korea that the Korean society imposes kind of like comes in. And as we see, there's like now there are like more of bad examples than good examples of that as well. So yeah, that's my answer to that. Yeah, that there will be discussion on that. Now, is it going to be something that's detrimental to our Filipino standards? I do not think so. It's also a way to also recognize that, again, Philippines is like a melting pot of different cultures anyway. So what probably says that it should not be a complete abandonment of Filipino beauty standards, but also like more like acknowledging that there can be many of these standards, and there's no one standard when it comes to when it comes to beauty.
Thank you for that, sir. I think we're getting some questions for our from our viewers now. Yo, you want to read one of them?
I'm so sorry, it's a little bit choppy. I can't hear it.
Hello.
Hello.
I have a question from Mixlani Nemenzo.
Okay,
So,
there you go.
question lang po, is Face Republic po kilala na din sa Korea ngayon and dito po sa atin?
That's actually a that's actually a good question, because Face Republic is, yeah, like Face Republic is like one of those like emerging brands, if I'm not mistaken. Correct? Yeah. Uh, yeah, kasi parang kasi right now they don't have like they don't have a standalone store. Like they're always, I think, with either with Beauty Manila or an e-commerce platform. If I remember correctly, let me verify that. Yeah, parang right now, if here in the Philippines, it's really with Beauty Manila, for example. So they don't have a standalone store, and they're known. Okay, they're definitely known, but as if they're popular, I'm actually not so sure. Okay, but I did not see their brands in the list, in the top list, like top 10, top 20 list, as published by Yuri Monitor. Mm. But I would probably say it's one of those like smaller brands that's making its way up.
Thank you for that, sir. So here is another question. Are there any studies regarding the psychological side or aspect of why non-Koreans continue to consume K-beauty products regardless of it matches their skin type or not? So,
Yes, yes, there is. Like some of those articles I flashed a while ago. Yeah, a while ago, they were like enumerating factors. Yeah, enumerating factors are there. It's kind of like the gears towards like like it increases their confidence. Like some of the factors that were highlighted. Yeah, the one is more like one of the more common ones is like it's a way to strengthen their own self confidence. It's a way to make them feel empowered because of the association with a celebrity that represents some form of empowerment or independence or independence. And independence in many ways, like one will be financial independence because like okay, now I can afford this, okay, and it makes me feel good. Okay. So those are some of the psychological factors that I've seen common to some of the studies I've seen and also like shared with you guys here. Yeah.
Okay, that's a very interesting research and results, sir. No,
Mm.
so we have another question from Mixlani Nemenzo again. Is this trend in K beauty an opportunity din po ba sa atin?
In terms of what? Mm. Like opportunity to what? Opportunity to promote our own? Uh,
Probably, sir. That's
Probably.
how I understood then.
Oh, yeah, yeah. An opportunity din po ba sa ate? Kasi if that's the angle, then I can see yes. Parang I can kasi parang or for that matter parang it's also a way for us to also improve our own like our own homegrown products. Like you see some of these homegrown products that are styling themselves as like K beauty or pseudo K beauty products in a way that they're also what do you call this? They're also promoting the use of natural ingredients, superior packaging, what else? The way that they promote it and stuff like that. So those are the opportunities that I see that I also see for us. I forgot the name of the brand. There was this Filipino homegrown brand that was featured a few years back. That the way the packaging, even the packaging. And when I say packaging, it's not just about the box, but it's also the way that they're applied to your skin. They took a page from how the Koreans do it. Yeah, so parang in terms of improving the product quality of those products, the quality of those products, yes, that's a big opportunity for us.
Okay, thank you for that, sir. We have another question. Even without the endorsements of celebrities or K-pop idols, do you think the Korean beauty products will still be a trend for the people?
Huh? That's actually a very good question. That's yeah, yeah, that's actually a very like kasi right now na rin what I'm seeing ads, yeah, or no, let's circle back there. Let me repeat that. Yes, it will because of this new phenomenon of beauty vlogs. Now that I think about it,
Mm.
now that I think about it, like we have a lot of our like the Filipino influencer market is one of the biggest, yeah, biggest. And when they themselves try out Korean skincare products, okay, their follower okay, and based on their massive following, yes, it will still work, it will still work. So in the absence of celebrities or K-pop idols, let's turn into these micro celebrities. Let's turn into the influencer market. This influencer market to promote these Korean products. It's actually an effective one. I am amazed on how effective it actually is.
Thank you for
I would have to agree, sir, no? Dinagdag din ni Adrian Espalardo na because personally, I became familiar with K-beauty products through the endorsement of my favorite groups.
Yeah, same
I
here.
think a lot of us can relate to that. I
Yeah,
myself, sir, din, ganon.
yeah.
So, next is from Mixhan. Should our local beauty brands follow suit with the marketing strategies that K-beauty brands practice? Like people in our own media, like films and series, extensive tutorials, etc. It seems we focus more on commercials and endorsements.
Yeah, like what because like okay, this one if there's one thing I said this a few years ago in another seminar. Like one thing I like about they say K dramas is the way that the time slot works. Excuse me. Okay, biglang may nakaisip sa akin. Anyway, so yeah. So, all right. It's the way the time slot works. You notice that in K dramas, let's say 9 to 10 yung time slot. Commercials are like 10 minutes. Like 10 minutes and then the rest of the drama runs without commercials. And then you see the product placements there. Okay? And then so that's the way some of the sponsors kind of like circumvent that regulation. And they put product placements there. I think yeah, I think in some way we should experiment on that as well, especially in terms of how easy it is to actually do product placements. The risk there is our usual tendency to overkill it or to overdo it. Yeah, yeah, to overdo it, because I remember there was a time where in movies, like in some movies, there were so much obvious product placements, like let's say a row of sari-sari stores. Okay, a row of sari-sari stores, and then naka-plaster lahat doon ng brands nung sachet ng shampoo, ng mga loading stations, ng mga which are obvious product placements uh, for it. So that's the thing. Why? It kind of like it can cut down on the commercial time, and and therefore we can distribute more content, yeah, like more content for it, and I think it's a good thing. Yeah, I think it's a good thing. What I do not what I do not know is that how will that work contractually? Like what would be the terms and conditions in a contract for us to for you to do that? Because if you notice, kasi with the Korean side, with the Koreans, is that the product placements are usually brands that already the actor or the actress already endorses, right? You that's one thing that I can notice. Yes, it should, like yes, we can. It's not like we should not follow, but we can follow. Yeah, we can follow.
Thank you for that, sir. And another question from Mix Nicole Cotorno. Is it possible that if our local skincare and makeup products are endorsed by K-pop stars, they will rival K products and become well known internationally?
Well, that's what the Western brands are doing.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what the Western brands are doing right now. Diba? Like I said, Estee Lauder, for example. Yeah. Maybelline is another one. Maybelline is another international brand that did that. Um, in terms of K beauty products, well, here in the Philippines, think kasi the brands that are dominating the Philippine market is also like foreign brands, eh. Yeah, like foreign brands. Say for a few categories, like for cosmetics, like cosmetics, there are some that are like homegrown brands that for that one, and become well known internationally only if, let's say, if that company chooses actually to go international to begin with. Like say if that company doesn't want to go internationally to begin with, then there's no sense of getting a K-pop idol to do it. Yeah, like a K-pop idol to do it if the thing is like going international. So yeah, but if, let's say, in terms of solidifying the Philippine market, I don't see why not. There was this brand. I think one of the brands I showed here, like the one with, let me pull that up again, so that I can recall. Yeah, I am I am is like a homegrown brand here. Yeah, a homegrown brand, and Jung Hoyon, Jung Hoyon of Squid Game is it's the endorser right now. So it's possible. Okay? It's really possible. But that would mean it's gonna be like it's a signal that the brand is going to have an aggressive push to be well known, to gain market share.
Okay, thank you for that. If you have more questions, please type it in, no? So, okay, sir, since wala pa pong question, I have another question. Last na to, sir.
Okay.
Okay,
Right.
so since you mentioned earlier that parang the thought is that medyo susceptible po tayo sa sinocentrism because we patronize these K-pop or like K-products nga po. Now that you mentioned that, what are the ways naman to prevent this?
Can you circle back? Ano ulit yung ano yung
Since our patronization to
okay.
K-products are susceptible to sinocentrism, like we
Okay,
prefer them
system.
to,
All right, all right.
yes,
Okay, okay.
we prefer them than Filipino products. What are the ways naman for us to prevent this?
Well, let's step up our game for one. Kasi the thing I'm kind of a little bit frustrated about Filipino markets is that we tend to still look to protectionism ngayon, to protectionism to protect well to solidify our position in the Philippine market. Like every time there's competition from outside, we complain. We complain without recognizing the flaws of our own Filipino products. And then we try to pander to sentiments of nationalism or like buy Filipino made. Diba? But then again, we still offer products that Filipinos do not actually deserve. So that's why. So parang we need to step up our game. And stepping up our game in terms of product quality, in terms of endorsements, in terms of the way we distribute them and whatnot, we need to step up our game. Yeah, like I call on the business sector like really to step up their game when it comes to dealing with competition from this. Okay. So give Filipinos a product that would rival that of what they see with Koreans, with the Koreans. Uh,
So
Give
I
it to
think we have another question from YouTube. Wow, from YouTube. From
okay.
Mix Joy Angela Ihon. Hello, sir. I would like to ask if the booming local beauty businesses here in the Philippines, which sell the name Korean and Korean skin, significantly affect the homegrown Korean beauty market in the Philippines.
Not really. It will affect, yes, but not really in a negative way. That's what I'm thinking. Like it, kasi parang if the booming local beauty business would kind of like go with that direction, then it kind of like opens up more awareness for the rest of the consumer market to know which brands are available for them. Yeah, so it will intensify competition for sure, and that's a good thing. And that's a good thing because it gives consumers better products. It gives manufacturers better incentive to do better, like bigger incentives to do better. Okay, as well. At least in theory. Okay, at least in theory.
So, Abby, do you have another question?
I think that's all the questions that we have for today.
Yan. Okay. Thank you very much, sir, and to everyone. Oh, we have another one. Last na, sir. Okay. Can you read it, Abby?
Okay, hold on. More of a curious question, sir. It's become more common for Filipinos to compliment each other's appearance by telling them that they look Korean. What is your
uh,
opinion on this, as people can take that comment differently?
that's true. Oh, that's so true. Oh, kasi parang especially with the tendency towards, parang may underlying meaning or may underlying shade. Pag Pilipino yung nag-comment. I'm so sorry. uh, Okay, so yeah, okay. Yeah, so yeah, parang yeah. Parang we need to clarify that. Like, what do you mean? Like, that's probably the response to that. Mm, oh, like kung sino man nag-comment noon, then the first response, what do you mean when it comes to that, and have them elaborate if it's a good or bad connotation.
Okay, I think that's all the questions for today. Thank you, everyone, for your questions, and thank you, of course, Dr. Capistrano. Sir
Yeah, thank you,
Capistrano.
thank you.
And with that, we will have to end the Q&A portion at this point. If any of you still have any more questions that you would like to ask, you may send them to us so that we can relay it to Dr. Capistrano.
With that, we would like to recognize our dear speaker, Sir Eric, through a certificate of appreciation. Let me read the certificate. This certificate of appreciation is hereby given to Eric Paolo Capistrano for imparting their valuable knowledge and insights during the 2023 Philippine-Korean Youth Forum with the theme Crossover, Reimagining and Embracing the Future, given this July of 2023 by Denise Pavia and Dr. Kyungmin De.
Now we may call on our documentation officer for the photo op with our esteemed speaker. I believe our documentation officer is in the live, so let's just count, no? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Capistrano. Once again, thank you so much to our speaker, and we truly had a fruitful discussion this afternoon. I have learned so much from the questions already. So now, before we head on to the next talk, it is time for. Oh, I'm sorry. We will head on immediately to our second speaker. Shall we,
Yeah.
partner?
Would you like to introduce our next speaker, Priyayi?
My pleasure, Abby. So, our second speaker is the Dean of the Office of Administrative Support and Professor of TESOL and English Linguistics at Hanguk University of Foreign Studies, South Korea. He teaches various courses in foreign and second language education from the undergraduate to the doctoral level. He received both an MS and PhD in language education from Indiana University Bloomington. His main research interests are in second language identity, world Englishes, heritage language maintenance and loss, and multilingualism and multiculturalism. To discuss South Korea as a market for Philippines ESL industry, let us all give a virtual round of applause to Dr. Hosung Che.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, sir, we
Can
can
you?
hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, okay. Welcome to my keynote speech. Thanks for your attending. I'm Ho Sung Choi from Hankuk University of Foreign Studies. The title of my speech is South Korea as a Market for the Philippines ESL Industry. ESL stands for English as a Second Language, which is the linguistic tradition of English language use in former British or American colonies such as the Philippines, India, Kenya, and Fiji. While ENL is referred to as English as a native language, and the UK, the US, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand are ENL countries. This title can be replaced by the Philippines as an English language learning destination for Koreans. Today, I'm going to talk about the recent trend of South Koreans' educational migration to Southeast Asian countries, and then if the Philippines is still attractive to South Koreans through my research study compared to other Southeast Asian ESL countries. In what countries do Korean students want to learn English besides ENL countries? What ESL countries do they prefer for English language learning? The top three destinations that Koreans prefer are the Philippines, Malaysia, and Singapore, and all of them are Southeast Asian countries. Why are these Southeast Asian countries preferred by Korean students? Each country has its own advantages. The Philippines may be the most preferred country due to its low tuition cost, low cost of living, and a population of well-educated ESL teachers. Despite high tuition fees and high cost of living, Singapore is also preferred because of well-educated teachers and good educational environments. Recently, educational migration to Malaysia is increasing. Despite relatively high tuition fees and high cost of living compared to the Philippines, they are still inexpensive to South Koreans. Koreans believe that their educational environments are better than those of the Philippines. Another advantage that Koreans pay attention to is learning Chinese as well as English in Malaysia. There are three different types of Korean students in the three countries. The first group is students in K-12, which includes kindergartners, elementary school students, and middle and high school students. The second group is higher education, which is referred to as students who are studying from the undergraduate to graduate level study. The last group is pure English language learners who focus only on intensive language learning. There are only a few pure English language learners in Singapore and Malaysia, but in particular, there are many Korean English language learners due to special study permits in the Philippines. Okay, now let's take a look at the table entitled Korean Students in K-12 Schools in the Philippines, Singapore, and Malaysia. Since there is no data after 2018, I provided data from 2012 to 2018. In 2012, 2,269 Korean students were studying at K-12 schools in the Philippines. But the number drastically decreased, and in 2018, only 912 K-12 Korean students were studying in the country. On the other hand, the number of Korean students at the K-12 level in Singapore was slowly increasing from 2013 to 2018. South Koreans' educational migration to Malaysian K-12 schools dramatically increased from 2013 to 2018. The number of Korean students at K-12 schools in Malaysia doubled during that period. The next table shows changes in the number of Korean students in higher education in the three countries. The number of Korean students hit its highest peak at 13,257 in 2017. I think that the number includes not all but some SSP holders before 2018, and SSP holders were excluded from 2018 to 2022. At any rate, only 129 Korean students were studying in the Philippines to pursue their undergraduate and graduate degrees. Although Singapore is a much smaller country than the Philippines, 841 Korean students were studying in Singaporean higher education. In Malaysia, 1,028 Korean students were studying at the undergraduate and graduate levels in 2022, which is 8 times larger than the Philippines. The Philippines is the only country that issues special study permit. Special study permits are issued to international students studying non-degree special courses for a period not exceeding 1 year. It is estimated that approximately 27,000 Korean students are learning English with SSP every year. Accordingly, including SSP holders, probably about 30,000 Korean students are studying in the Philippines. Now, let me tell you about the trend in South Koreans' educational migration to Southeast Asian countries. Before the 2010s, middle-income parents usually prefer ESL countries, which means that high-income parents sent their children to ENR countries before the 2010s. In the 2010s, Korean students' educational migration to Southeast Asian ESL countries occurred frequently among high-income families. Unlike for middle class families, financial affordability is not the main concern for wealthy families when choosing study abroad destinations. Will this trend continue after the pandemic? And what are other reasons for Korean parents to send their children to Southeast Asian ESL countries? First, they are geographically closer to English as a native language countries, such as the US, Canada, and Australia. Second, they have a similar education system to Korea. For example, the educational ladder in the Philippines has a 644 structure based on the US education system. Third, they are not culturally distant. Koreans find Anglo-Saxon culture quite different from their own, but feel that cultures in the three countries are relatively similar to their own. Last, except for the Philippines, Korean parents believe that their children are able to learn Chinese as well as English in Malaysia and Singapore, which is considered to be a huge advantage compared to English as a native language countries. If so, what are the advantages or characteristics that only the Philippines has for Korean students? They may include small size in national schools solely for Korean students, Korean style private academies, and well qualified but affordable tutors. Now, I would like to introduce my research study for this speech. A total of 10 parents whose children are studying or have studied in the Philippines participated in the study. They were from the high income group in their 40s and 50s with a bachelor's degree or higher. The duration of their children's studies varied from 1 to 9 years. A semi structured interview for each participant was conducted for 90 minutes. After the interview, I used text messages, Skype, and telephone conversations for clarification and further questions. From the data analysis, four recurrent themes emerged. The first theme is ambivalent attitudes toward Filipino English, that is, double standards. Take a look at the first excerpt. I love the Filipino accent because it's easy for me to understand. But American English is better than Filipino English for my children. I was worried when I heard my children speaking English with a local accent. The second excerpt is like this. I think as long as no communication breakdown occurs and English is good. In that sense, Filipino English can be easier for non-native speakers to understand. However, I was anxious about my children developing a local accent, and other parents were also concerned about the same thing. As it were, they believed that Filipino English is good enough for themselves to learn. However, they did not consider Filipino English appropriate for their children. The second theme is language simply as a tool. Language first, culture later. Let me read the third excerpt. Learning culture was not my primary concern. I wanted them to focus exclusively on the English language. I thought they would be able to learn culture later, language first, culture later. In other words, language in the Philippines, culture in the UK or the US. Okay, this is the fourth excerpt from the parents. Korean society doesn't want returnees who don't know Korean culture. Many companies have complained about returnees' lack of understanding of Korean culture. They need employees who speak English well, but who also know Korean culture well. As it stands, I want my children to maintain their Korean culture. I found that the parents in this study tended to dissociate language from culture, which is contrary to the general notion that language and culture are intertwined, so one cannot be separated from another. The third theme is the ease of adjustment, which is also cultural adjustment to the host country. I'll take a look at the fifth excerpt from the parents. My son had to change his homestay 3 times because he had problems with his host families. He struggled to adjust to the new environment. Things allowed here were not allowed there. Cultural differences made him feel ostracized from his host families. Canada is an individualistic society, and Canadians don't pay attention to children as much as Koreans do. In the excerpt, the parent sent her first son to Canada, but chose the Philippines for her second son because her first son had many difficulties with a Western culture where individualism is emphasized. For example, he was born and raised in Korean culture where silence is valued over talk, but his host parents misunderstood his silence as being down to a bad attitude. The last theme is the role of the Philippines as a bridge. This is the sixth excerpt from the parents. I want my daughter to study in the UK or the US. The Philippines is the bridge between Korea and native English-speaking countries. It provides the first step for her to be able to improve English. The last excerpt. I want my children to go to a Korean university. Before college, I want them to master English. I think the Philippines is one of the best places to consider to improve English. The parents did not consider the Philippines as the final study abroad destination for their children. Instead, they considered the Philippines to be a country that bridges Korea and English as a native countries, or they wanted their children to come back to Korea for higher education. This is the reason that only a small number of Korean students are studying at universities and graduate schools in the Philippines. Now, discussion and conclusion. The study's findings suggest that the following arguments can be made. First, the most striking observation to emerge from the interviews described above is that there is an inconsistency in parents' views about ESL Englishes. Number two, most of the participants considered ESL varieties of English to be legitimate and further argued that they could be better teaching models for learners of English. Third, they had a different set of principles for the same issue when it came to their children's English education. Fourth, for example, they transferred their children from local schools to international schools taught by native speakers or had their children tutored by native speakers after returning to Korea. Fifth, however, the study participants consistently dissociated language from culture. Sixth, their belief that language can be learned without learning culture demonstrates that they approach language learning with instrumental motivation rather than with integrative motivation. Seventh, the parents wanted their children to maintain a Korean identity, requiring them to keep some degree of distance from the target culture. Last, they believed that the transition would be easy because the Philippines provide a familiar learning environment. Nonetheless, in offering what English as a native language countries could not, for example, a similar education system to Korea, small size in national schools solely for Korean students, Korean-style private academies, and well-qualified but affordable tutors. But the Philippines, the Philippines is still an attractive English language teaching provider for neighboring Asian countries such as Korea. However, as we saw earlier, the Philippines' attractiveness as a study abroad destination, including English language training, is decreasing. It will be interesting to see whether and how this trend continues to develop in the next years. Then I will briefly summarize the present of the Philippines as a destination for Koreans to study abroad. The Philippines as a study abroad destination for Koreans. Number one, the number of Korean students K-12 studying in the Philippines is decreasing. Filipino higher education from the undergraduate to a graduate level study has never been attractive to Koreans. English language learners have a shorter stay than those in English as a native language countries. Is the Philippines much cheaper? Yes, it is affordable. Is the Philippines much closer to from South Korea? Yes. It is much closer than other Southeast Asian ESL countries. However, the following three environmental factors make the Philippines least attractive. First, there are too many Koreans. In addition, students are more likely to engage in entertainment. Lastly, Koreans do not consider the Philippines to be a safe place. The following three academic factors also make Koreans avoid the Philippines for studying abroad. First, although Filipino English traditionally follows American English conventions and rules, Koreans tend not to find it authentic. Second, there is no place to practice English outside of the classroom because Filipinos use local languages in their daily lives. Third, it is found that there is a huge difference in English proficiency among teachers. This is the end of my presentation. Again, thank you so much for being here for my keynote speech.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ho Sung Che, for that wonderful discussion on South Korea as a market for the Philippines ESL industry. I personally appreciate how through this discussion we were able to be more enlightened about the insights or like perspectives of Koreans towards our country as an English speaking country. How about you, Yoyi?
I would have to agree. I found Dr. Che's study really interesting because, as we can see, there are both positive and negative implications to it. Like, for example, for the positive, Koreans prefer the Philippines because it's cheap and also because it's near. But also there are negative because, as Dr. Che discussed earlier, they're separating language from culture, which I also find interesting because for so long, I always incorporate language and culture as one. And also because sometimes, or as we saw earlier, they prefer English in UK and in US than Filipino language. So, all in all, I hope that there will be developments in the future, especially with the rising presence of Koreans and Korean culture here in the Philippines.
I agree.
Okay, so to our viewers, we apologize because we have to cut the open forum short because Dr. Che has a business trip later. So for your questions, we are going to save that and we're going to answer that on Friday for our workshop and plenary. So should we move forward to our certificate?
Okay.
Okay.
Let me read the
So
Certificate of Appreciation. The Certificate of Appreciation is hereby given to Dr. Ho Sung Che for imparting their valuable knowledge and insights during the 2023 Philippine-Korean Youth Forum with the theme Crossover Reimagining and Embracing the Future, given this July of 2023 by Denise Pavia and Dr. Kyungmin Dae. May we ask?
Thank you.
okay. Thank you. Okay, so should we ask our documentation officer to take a picture?
Okay.
So, okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
감사합니다.
Oh, your
Ah,
pronunciation is very good.
oh,
감사합니다.
thank you.
Thank you.
감사합니다.
Thank you.
네.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, Abby, how are we?
Yoyi, that concludes the keynote lectures for our for our P&T track. Hey.
Yes.
Woo.
It's really unfortunate that we cannot have the open forum for the last speaker because I can see there are some questions here on our comment section. So don't worry, guys. We're going to answer that on Friday. We're going to take note of that. Okay. So I think we have something prepared, Abby.
Oh, yeah. Actually, we're not yet done, delegates and viewers.
Yes.
Before we officially end, let's keep your souls alive with our segment called Nekkoya.
Nekkoya. So we have another set of prizes for you today, just like last week. But instead of a random picker, the first people to comment the required words on Facebook or YouTube's comment section will receive the prizes. However, you can only win once to give a chance to others. So for those who were also here last week, I feel like you guys already know the drill. You guys already know what's going to happen. Am I right?
Okay, Yoyi, are you ready? Let's start.
Let's ask our viewers first. Are you guys ready? Please type in ready if you're ready. You have to be keyboard warriors for this. Okay. So we have two sets of prizes today. So let's start with the first one, shall we? Okay. So for the first people to type in Mine Urban Chick Resto Maginhawa. So please type in. First 6 people will win.
Yeah, they're typing in ready.
There's kind of a delay, Abby,
May
right?
delay.
Yeah, there's a delay. Okay.
Yan na.
Okay, while we wait for the 6 people, we would like to plug in. Please follow Urban Chicks Maginhawa on Instagram at Urban Chick BBQ. Okay. I think we have winners already, Abby.
We do? Do we have 6 already?
Yes. Should we call them?
Oh, wait. It's lagging on my end. Oh,
Oh my
there's a
God.
lot. Okay. First is Mix Han. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Mix Han. Our next is Mix Clarice de Jesus. Congratulations.
Next is Mix Eman Velasquez.
Yes, that's our third winner. Congratulations. Our fourth winner is Mix Nicole Cotorno. Wow.
And our fifth winner is Mix Adrian Espalardo.
Congratulations. And our last winner is Mix Karina Rivera. Thank you. Congratulations to our winners.
Congratulations, everyone.
So to reiterate, we have Mix Ann, Mix Eman Velasquez, Mix Clarice de Jesus, Mix Nicole Catorno, Mix Adrian Espalardo, and Mix Karine Rivera.
Congratulations
Yes.
to our lucky winners.
Congratulations. Okay. Should we move on to our next prize, Abby?
Let's go. First 7 girls to comment, mine Aunt Flo will win
A washable cloth pad and an Aunt Flo menstrual cup set. Yes. So unfortunately, no, our male delegates and viewers cannot participate this time. But if you can give this, if you win and you can give this to like a female or like a girl that you know, you can join. While we wait for the comments, we're also plugging the Instagram account of Aunt Flo. Please follow them at Aunt Flo Beauty. Let's go, let's go. Parang gusto ko sumali, Abby, ah.
Kailangan natin to eh.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go. We don't have comments yet. I think nauga sila kasi sabi once lang daw silang pwedeng manalo. Should we revoke that rule?
Wait, baka may...
Okay, we have one na.
Or should we?
I think we should kasi kanina ang daming girls na nag-comment na nanalo.
Okay, sige.
Okay.
Anyone
Yung mga
can
nanalo kanina,
go.
you can comment again. You can win again para tiba-tiba tayo today. Okay. I can see 2 na nag-chat ngayon. We're still waiting for 5 more.
Okay, 3 na.
Let's go.
We have 4.
Thank you to our sponsor, Aunt Flo. They have a lot of prizes for us, no?
Last two winners. Okay, last 1 winner.
What if ako na? Tayo na, Abby. Tayo na mag-comment. May nagmamind dito sa backstage, oh. Taga Arirang. Ay, naku, bawal po. Charot. Okay, we're still waiting for 1 more. I think ayaw na nila. Oh my God.
Ayo, sayang yan.
Sure ba kayo? Sayang.
Aunt Flo na yan, no? Papakawalan niyo pa.
Okay, while we wait for the other one, what if we call na yung mga nanalo, no?
Okay.
So first winner is Mix Micaela Briones. Congratulations.
Second winner is Mix Karine Rivera. Congrats.
Congratulations. Another is Mix Clarice de Jesus. Congratulations. They also won earlier, no?
Yeah. Another winner from earlier na nanalo din ngayon is Mix Nicole Cotorno.
Pang ilan na yon, Abby?
Fourth.
Okay. Our fifth winner is Mix Adrian Espalardo.
Yes, nanalo din siya kanina.
And then, sixth? Is this the sixth one?
Yeah!
Okay. We have Mix Han. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Sabi ni Erica Florence Pilazo Ines, ang haba ng name talaga. Go, go, go! Hello, Erica. Erica is from Arirang. Okay, then last winner, Abby. Who's our last winner?
Oh! Right! Our last winner is Mix Eman Velasquez, who will be giving it to his sister.
To my sister.
Yeah.
Wow, sobrang bait naman na brother. So, congratulations, everyone! To reiterate again, our winners are Mix Micaela Briones, Mix Karine Rivera, Mix Therese De Jesus, Mix Nicole Catorno, Mix Adrian Espaliardo, Mix Han, and Mix Eman Velasquez. Okay, so congratulations again. And before we end our game, we would like to invite everyone to visit one of our sponsors, flowerstore.ph. You may use the code PKYF20 to get 20% off plus free shipping as an app-exclusive voucher. You may use naman their code PKYF15 for a 15% off and free shipping for their web and app voucher. Wow, thank you to our sponsors. Okay, congratulations, miners!
And that concludes the second week of keynote lectures for PKYF 2023. We hope that all of the delegates, especially those in the economy and trade track, as well as other viewers in the live stream, were enlightened and gained something from our esteemed speakers.
We would like to ask all the participants in our live stream to patiently wait for the feedback or attendance form to be sent to you by your facilitators. There's no need to rush if you truly attended the whole session.
Also, remember, this is required for us to validate your attendance in the session. For any other questions, kindly message your respective group facilitator in your GCs.
Thank you everyone for attending today's keynote lectures for the economy and trade track. We hope to see you all again on Friday so we can answer all your questions about ESL industry. So I'm Yogi Tamayo. You may follow me on Instagram at Yosh Tamayo.
And I am Abby Salas, and you may follow me at abby.bell, that's ab.bell, on Instagram.
Wow. May pastel tayo dyan, partner, no?
Yes.
Thank you so much to our delegates. We really had fun today. Am I right, Abby?
Yes, we as your hosts really love doing this kasi ang participative nyo talaga.
True. And we also have a lot of prizes. So, masaya magpamay na. Para tayo nagla-live selling dito, Abby.
Ayan, thank you daw from our viewers. Thank you, Ren. Again, we are your hosts for PKYF 2023 ENT Keynote Lecture.
Thank you, delegates and public viewers, and see you on Friday.
Bye!
Bye! Annyeong!